was trying to speak to me. All right. So normal human behavior. If horse does something that makes us nervous.
I can't hear. It's too fuzzy.
Okay, hang on 1 second. We gotta adjust some stuff.
That I heard fine.
That you heard fine. Interesting.
Yes.
Gotta find where the microphone went. Can you hear me okay now?
Better.
Okay.
But you'll have to be loud. I'm deaf.
Okay.
So, what I was saying is, even if you're not afraid, if the horse cavorts, it will still dislodge and disbalance you. And we are not evolved to rebalance on a foreign object. We are evolved to rebalance ourselves if we trip, except me, of course, if we trip or stumble. So be always planning, because you know this horse, be always planning for a fart about. And your thing is going to be to carry the throat latch up and out with hands together. Generally together. Because it's going to happen. There's no question about it. And the trick, the difference is, are you going to be ready with something useful, or are you just going to go back to the same old, which he already knows how to deal with and render you useless?
Right.
Your feet are better today.
Yes. I'm being more aware of it.
Laura and I were talking earlier about what we think our bodies are doing compared to what they're actually doing is miles apart. Quite often.
Yes, that's what I was telling her yesterday when we were watching the videos. And it felt like my knees were, or my legs were up over her shoulders, but we watched the video and I was like, oh, they look downright normal.
That's exactly true. I just happened to be lucky because I did 4 sports and I learned the same thing in each one. It's not what you feel that it is. You have to find out what it really is. And then the other thing to do is, if you know what's likely to go awry, in this horse's case, it's pretty clear because it's always the same damn thing. But with some horses, it's a little trickier because one minute they might bolt and the next minute they might run backwards and the next minute they might rear. But it's a bit of good luck if you've got one that only has one way of going FU. That's this one. So your antidote for that, whatever we've decided it should be in general, or perhaps several antidotes, should be practiced assiduously before you need them. Yeah.
Right.
What dressage queens do is and it's the instructor's fault, I guess, at least in some cases it is. They'll say, if the horse does blah, blah, you do blah, blah. Well, thank you very much, but I probably won't be very good at it unless I practice it. So if I say what we're going to do when the horse does blah, blah is the following. So now do it repeatedly, do it larger than life. Make a big point of it so that the horse is always in a state of readiness. And what happens nearly always, is that they become automatic. When you, just like we do, yeah, you don't, if you're a skater, for instance, you don't have to always think, oh, inside blade, outside of blade, whatever they think. It becomes automatic. And when that
Right.
happens, you're in way better shape. Then the horse goes, "Oh, I'm going to pitch a fit," and then, "Oh, well, what's she doing? It's so horrifying." So, whatever we think we're going to try to use for an icky behavior that we are aware of and expect, you practice what you're going to do about it. You don't just ride around going, "Please, God, could it not happen?" That's not going to be the case.
Right. Especially where we know it will happen.
Yeah. And then, if as you do that, thing that I do is I say, "Are there variations on the theme that I might, with to advantage, play at?" And that could be bend her to the outside and twirl her around in a left pirouette. Do it.
So, so how would I ask for that?
Turn her head to the outside, kick her with the outside foot on the armpit.
Or would I give that inside rein?
Yeah, you give
forward?
yeah, of
Okay.
course. You give the left rein, you pull her head right, you kick her right foot and armpit. All right. So she was stupid. Good. Yeah, keep her turning, keep her feet moving. But the hope is that we keep them moving in a direction that suits our balance, our security, and not keep them moving in a way that's going to get us pitched. All right.
Right.
So obviously, she's not very touchable.
No, not right now.
Well, so now is when exactly we do it. Turn her head to the right. Don't ask. Just haul it over to the right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to change plans now because I wanted you to turn her head right and do a left pirouette. But when you turned her head right, she went stupid.
Yes.
So no problem. We retool. When you turn her head right and she goes stupid, you say, "Fine. You're going to twirl right until you are so dizzy that you don't know what to do with yourself, sweetheart." Okay, yeah. My intention was to make a left turn with right bend. But for whatever reason, she went totally stupid. Okay, do it. Turn her head right. That's left. Yeah, you're way too tentative.
No, I'm sorry. I heard you say that's left, but I turned her head right. I got a little lost. Sorry.
All right, it's okay to be lost, but don't be careful.
Okay, so you want me to turn her head right and turn her to the right, or turn her head right and go left?
Turn her head right and step left in front.
Okay.
Just do it from here. It may work, it may be a disaster. It doesn't matter. Yes, yes.
Oh,
Good. Okay, turn her head right. It's just bulging now. Good. It's fine. Don't worry. She's got the wrong end of the stick, but she'll get it someday. There. So, like most women, you're all about truce making. Do you know what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yes.
All right. So you don't have to go out and be like a guy and say, "God damn it, I'll ride through this and I'll get this to happen, some bitch." You don't have to do that, but pick a place where you can get past the truce making, because all that does is wreck the relationship. I think most marriages are like that. So bend the neck left, firmly, quickly. Yeah. Jolly good.
Good girl.
Right. So if we do it from halt or walk and not trot, it doesn't matter a bit. But what we have to do is break this pattern of doing truces. "I won't even breathe if you're not mean to me." Doesn't work. Yeah. Well done.
Good.
Well done. Yeah. So back to a previous point. All variation. Well done. Well done. All variations on theme are good. They're all ways of breaking the truce-making pattern that causes women to screw up horses, especially mares, so badly. Yeah. It's all about
Okay.
making a pact with them. If I don't breathe, will you not hurt me? This is not going to work. Good, go. Yeah, anywhere, doesn't matter. Good, good, good.
Thank you. There we go.
All right, so that is an issue of go ahead and do that, you dumb bitch. I'll still be here when you're dying of exhaustion.
Mm.
Instead of please stop it, oh please stop it. That backfires, especially with mares. Yeah, you don't have to add anything to it. She's doing her own hysteria. So you don't need leg, you don't need any great influence. The only thing which you won't be able to think of quite yet, but eventually you will, is to turn your frontal plane out.
From out, okay.
So your belly button points outward. Because when you twist in like that, it adds to the twirliness.
Okay.
Okay. So you do not give up. This was fine, I think. You do not give up until she does. You don't have to demand more. You don't have to demand submission. You don't have to demand a trick. You don't have to demand a direction. You simply say, honey, I can live through this longer than you can because I have a longer lifespan. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep going. And yes. So she needs to understand eventually that she's entirely welcome to twirl around and it will get her nowhere but tired.
Good girl.
Yes. Well done. Well done indeed. It's a mentality thing or a psychology thing, whatever you call it, or a learning thing that is very foreign to women. They just want to stop the uglies or the threats. Whereas men, it generally brings out in us, God damn you, I will show you a thing or two. And either one to an extreme degree is bad. Yeah. So you get men who are just bullies and wife beaters and stuff. But like the good old cowboys are just sit there casually until the horse goes oof. Too much damn trouble. All right, now the throat latch is bulging left. Fix it. Yeah. Good. Good, good, good. So when we hear words like, oh, have the horse straight, first of all, it depends on who's using those words. If it's a judge, forget it. They don't know what to look at for straight. Straight includes narrowness of the base of support, and it includes displacement of the throat latch, little or a lot. It is not just, yep, it looks straight from end to end like a log. Good. And now counterflex. Boom. Yep. And stick with it until she, no, you gave up way too soon. She's got to
even though she stopped spinning?
Yeah, but she stopped spinning as part of a truce mechanism. Make her stay there for a few seconds.
Okay.
That's not something I would expect you to know. That's an animal behavior issue, and nobody that I work with in riding understands animals. It's just not part of what they do. So, fine, we work on it. Oh, nice.
Good girl.
Yeah. And our goal is to teach her not to behave like that rather than to, for the moment, make it look passable. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I then say, Lance the boil, don't put a salve on it. We need to get in there and find out what the F is going on with this stupid behavior and get rid of it rather than going, easy girl, easy horsey. Okay, good, good. Other way, other flexion, I mean. Quickly, boop, boop. Good. Now your belly button's pointed the wrong way, huh? It should, yeah, your head's good, but your belly button's still pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, I feel like my head and shoulders ended up in the right direction. Waist and
it's not easy.
belly did not.
Yeah, I promise you, it's not easy. It's important in any sport, but it's harder in riding than at least my other sports. Is to control the frontal plane because the horse is controlling it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, counterflexion and turn left if you can. If not, I don't care. Hey, good. There's hope. A glimmer. An occasional glimmer. Keep it, keep it, keep it until the horse steps left in front. Bend the neck. Now say, can you step left in front or are you going to be an asshole again? And you got all day. Well done.
Good girl.
Well done. Now you can stand there. I call it horse think time for 10 seconds or something and say, there, you dumb creature. That's what'll get you off the hook, not all that frenzied behavior that I fell for, kind of thing. So knowing when it's tricky, there's no question about it. And it's still tricky for me with some kinds of animals that I deal with or dealt with. But to know when to call it quits and say, oh, good, we'll have a breather now. And when to say, oh, no, you don't. We're not done here. That is not an automatic thing that I can write a paragraph about and email it to you. Otherwise, I would. It's but as best you can, as I tell you what to do, try to learn from what I, not so much about this horse at this moment, but my general way of addressing such things.
Okay.
That's how I learned the most. And not because I wanted it that way, I wanted it as an outline. I am definitely a list maker and an outline maker. And when my last teacher appeared on the scene, Baron von Blixen, he was a terrible teacher and he didn't explain most things. I had to learn by watching and it killed me. I wanted him, goddammit, to give me an outline of how I was going to make this horse do piaffe or passage or whatever. And it wasn't going to happen. And so I sort of had to listen and interpret. And he still rode then. He rode until he died at 90.
Oh, wow.
I had tickets to Stockholm to go to his 90th birthday party, and he had the temerity to die 2 weeks before. Ha! All right, turn the head. Either direction, I don't care. No, 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 no. That's too tenuous. Just turn it. Oi! Yeah. It can be straight to your belly button or it can be out to the side. Yes. So that's one of the first things because that was where your truce making starts. Yeah. Good. Now you keep this turning, you keep the head turned till the horse goes, please, please, can we be done? Bend your elbow left, your left elbow, sorry. Ah, Okay, now you say, all right, you dumb bitch, step right with your front legs. Butt with left bend. Oi!
No, I was thinking I didn't ask for anything yet. I was processing of how to
Okay.
get that.
Okay,
Sorry,
okay.
put that
That's
back in.
fine. That's good. That's fine. Left bend, step right in front. Left bend. Left bend.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Got my directions all confused as I'm trying to work all my pieces parts.
It doesn't matter. The main thing is that you do something and not just sit there going, easy girl, easy girl. It is a girl, isn't it?
Yes, she is. Good girl.
Yes. So she needs to know the final outcome, the consequence of whatever goes on with her. And up to now, the consequence has been that you chicken out and go, easy girl. And then she can go on doing her own thing.
Yeah.
That's what I call truce making. Okay, turn the head swiftly, either way. Oi! Yep. And then when she quits being stupid, move her front feet to the left. And it, oi, turn her head. You lost priority. Yes. All right.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Jolly good. So the issue here isn't to do a special trick. It is that the what seem like special tricks, because I say do this with the head, do that with the feet. That's not really the point. The point about that is that it bewilders her. There's no movement in the horse show test that makes you do that.
Right.
And so most people would never think to do that. I called it the bewilderment thing. And that's what I want the horse to do, is for her to go, crikey's sake, what is next? I can't imagine.
Good.
Yes, jolly good. Yeah. And it has to be done past her point of expecting you to give up in terror. It may not be terror, it may be that woman thing about, oh, please be attractive, which men don't usually have, so it took me years to figure it out. But that's also a bad thing because horses interpret it as backing down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So to think like a horse when you go, oh, please be attractive, that's okay at a horse show. You're trying to fool the judge, that's all. But in training, good. In training, if you back down because you wanted attractive, the horse interprets that as you back down because you chickened out. And she has you under her hoof. She doesn't have a thumb.
Makes sense.
When you ask her to turn her head, do not ask, demand.
Okay.
And there's a good reason, really. It's not just to be tough like a guy. It is because if, yes, and you're going to finish keeping the bend. You're going to finish with stepping to the right with the front leg. Keep the bend. Yes. All right. That is your good. That is your answer. That is the opposite to everything she tried to do to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So you don't give up until then. It's not about now make her go pleasantly forward on the bit. Certainly not. Your guts pointed out, please. Opposite to the bend, anyway. Don't be so muddled about the bend if you can. Yeah, okay. It's got to be obvious. Otherwise, you settle for nothing. Yep.
Good girl.
Good. Bend her right again and step left. Boom.
Good.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Bend or step?
Both.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Good. Now it's over. Jolly good.
Good girl.
All right. That is the oppositist. There's no such word I know. The most opposite thing that you can do to what she uses to try to terrorize you. And it's something you can do slowly and thoughtfully rather than while it is whirling and twirling crazily. Yes. Guts pointed right. Yep. Yes. It's almost like she cottoned onto it herself a little bit. Yeah. Excellent. So these little tricks that I give everybody, like raise the pole up and out, or overbend the neck, or move the front feet, or move the hind feet, these are tools, not goals. I mean, okay, short-term goals, long-term, they're tools. That's no good. It's unconvincing. When I say it's no good, I don't mean it's wrong or bad. I mean it's just half-assed. There was not a lifting of the throat latch up and out. That was just a braced neck.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to work past that.
Good for you. Yes. Great. Good. When she gets it very clear in mind that this is where it's going to end up, she'll think twice about the value of twirling like an idiot.
Yeah.
That's all. We don't punish her for it because that they don't get punishment. Well, they do. They get kicked or bitten, but that's about it. But what we would do is punishment, whip or spurs or pulling on the mouth or stuff like that. They'll never understand that. But they understand inevitability
Okay.
and they understand distractibility.
Makes sense.
So when I say bend, don't have any fancy ideas about, oh, more inside leg and bend in the rib cage. No, I mean crank the head left or right. So it's at this stage, it's bend the neck because that gives you what?
We used a word for it yesterday.
Mechanical.
Mechanical advantage. I almost said motor advantage. I was like, that's not right.
Yes, mechanical advantage. Because if all you did was what a normal person does, so she goes stupid, is just to pull back, it's never going to get better.
Right. She can pull back against me all day. She's a powerful little pony, so.
Yes.
Oh, good. You can turn your head. Good girl.
You were wimpy. She was too quick and too clever for you. She doesn't think. It's not clever in the sense of wily. But what happened is she put her head up and that made your eyes glaze over. By which I mean you forgot to notice that the throat latch flew in. The head up is what catches everybody's eye and everybody's attention, but the real issue isn't the snout flying up. It's the throat latch flying in. Yeah.
So when or if she kind of braces that neck, kind of throws that neck up, how do I,
crank her head in and put your hands together and hoist her up to the right.
Okay.
Because it's just a leverage trick to get to her throat latch. When she throws her head up, that's all anybody ever notices. Then they put on the draw reins and the extra bits. But what it really is the throat latch thrusting inwards. Yeah. So if you overdo it, it's no problem. You can simply stop overdoing it someday. You're not going to hurt them.
Okay. Because sometimes it feels like when she throws that head up and braces it turns into like rock hard stone.
Yep. So you have to give a little on the outer rein. It will help you when you have enough brain cells to spare, which you won't for a while. Nobody does. To keep your frontal plane turned out. But even if you can't remember to do that, I don't care, because the prioritization issue is the main thing. Good. She's questioning, she's testing, she's experimenting, which is exactly what we want to do. And it's perfectly fine if this is all you do for a week or 2 weeks, because it's a basic principle that she is awful about and she has got you trained about, and just because people are lousy about it. It's very rare that anybody sorts this out for themselves. Himself, herself, whatever we say these days in these transgender times. I never get my pronouns right anymore. This wouldn't matter, because if you get this issue addressed, it will save years of misery.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because we can't really do anything else if she's gonna.
There's that too. The advantage. Yeah, the advantage of her being so dramatically horrible is that you have a greater impetus to fix it, God damn it, rather than just trying to cover it up. But most women.
Glad she put her worst hoof forward whenever we're on lessons together. Helps us solve problems.
Okay, oh, she's so funny right now. From the view of the camera, she's got both front legs at a wild angle as she's leaning left. Now that means the throat latch is bad. There's a bulge behind the left jawbone. All right. That stood her up.
Girl.
That stood her up. Did you feel anything under your body?
Yes. It felt like she got taller and stood up.
Yes. There's no reason a person initially feels these things. So I remember being asked, did you feel that? And I'd think, no, not at all. And then I would learn, oh yeah, there's that funny thing. It made the Baron so mad, and I was already riding Grand Prix when he came around, and he would say, there, did you feel that? And sometimes I would say, no, I didn't. And he'd say, you're just being obstructive. And I wasn't. Good.
Good girl.
Girls, yeah. Well done. The left foreleg step to midline. Yeah. Not good
Yeah,
enough. The left foreleg must go more to the right ear. A little. Yep. She gave you her warning. Don't tell me what to do, you bitch. She started to do one of her twirly runs, huh?
Mhm.
And that, as best I can tell, is her telling you to piss off. That's
Yeah,
a
it's like she doesn't like to give up that last little bit of control.
yes, of adduction. So piss off is a dressage word.
Is it now? Good.
Yep.
Good girl.
All right. So I have a thing, which you may have read or may not, called What to Look At and What to Look For. And most riders are clueless. They're always looking at the wrong thing and for the wrong thing. They're looking at the head position and they're looking for the chin to be tucked in. They should be looking at the throat latch and for it to be displaceable. Well done. Well done. You're keeping your priorities straight, which is the throat latch, yeah?
Yeah.
If you can't get the step to happen or you can't get the step to go in the right direction, that's all right. As long as you keep your priorities straight. That is also on my list, prioritization, I call it. And dressage people are absolutely foggy when it comes to that. All they can think about is bending the rib cage and hind legs further under and half halt, and they have no idea what they're talking about. Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm not at this current moment when I let her just think. I'm not asking her to really do anything, but she's playing with it a little bit on her own.
Yes.
Interesting.
Great. Partly because you're keeping her flexed and she's going, what the hell is that about? I don't do that. Never have. Yeah. There was another, right then, was another thwarted hysterical attack, huh?
Yes.
That's great. Yeah.
Good girl.
Fine, fine. Backing up is no problem. But it's one of the things that the dressage people are hysterical about. Most of them would be flapping the legs and digging in spurs and whipping and all kind of stuff.
That's a good girl.
Good, good. So it's going to take many reps for her to get over her quick and automatic tendency to terrorize by careening about. And your job is to live in a state of readiness. And your other job is to keep her in a state of readiness, by which I mean a state of readiness to be able to gain mechanical advantage. That's throat latch. If you control the throat latch on the horse, you pretty much control everything, or at least it makes everything easier.
It seems like everything builds off of having control of the throat latch in a way, because even a lot of like what Dentano does, like what Laura does with Dentano, that's all, that throat latch needs to be not
Good.
locked up to do a lot of that.
All of that head wiggling around is good stuff. That's her experimenting with the limits.
Okay.
And so she'll do that, and you'll say, "Don't rip my arms off." And then she'll turn around and put her nose practically on your stirrup, that sort of thing. Now, there you made a mistake. When you turned her around, she took stiff, short steps, anxious.
Okay.
I would have kept her going left until she sighs and goes, "Never mind." But again,
Okay.
you just said, "Oh, the trick I want is," yeah, 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 yeah. Good.
Good.
Hmm. Good. Now, you may notice that she's a little bit cautious.
Yes.
This is fine. This is her thinking. If she were a very lazy horse, you would have to, at some point, distinguish between thinking and laziness. But she's a very energetic horse, so I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think you've got it easy here. I think, yeah, 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 yeah. Don't tip forward and all that weird stuff. Turn your guts out, lean back. Yeah, let her careen and keep it until she goes, "God damn it, is there no end to this misery? I give, I stop." Yeah, we've got all day. Good pumpkin.
Good girl.
Yeah. Oops. Oops. You lost your head, huh?
Yep.
By that I mean you lost your focus, not your head.
Yeah. Pause to think for a second.
Well, my vocabulary isn't what it once was because my brain is so deteriorating. Yeah, good. Good. And this is how you take a potential hysteria attack, a potential scariness, well done, well done, and you turn it into a boresomeness, a boringness, until she goes, "Holy crap, that is simply not worth it. The outcome's always the same. The effort is too much. Screw it." That's also a dressage term. Good. And you're living in a state of readiness for her to suddenly go, "Oh my God, I'm going to throw myself around." And you say, "Yeah, I knew you were, but I'm so ready. I'm so ready." All right, so there it's almost a labor for her to figure out where to put the next foot, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. That is a mental labor for her. There's no question. She knows exactly how to walk on. It's with a bulging right throat latch and feet going wherever suits them. And you are screwing it up to your own advantage. Yes, yes, yes. And she's going, "Are you sure? Can this possibly be right? Does this work?" Yeah, good.
Good girl.
I never, the word isn't regret. I never, there's a word I want to, again, I can't think of. Um, um, I never mind if I, in the middle of my training, whatever day, whatever year, whatever level, if I suddenly go, oh, I need to spend a week or 3 at the walk sorting this issue. I never begrudge, that's the word I want. I never begrudge that. And most dressage riders do. They want every day to be better than yesterday. That's not realistic. I want every day to be a learning experience for one of us, at least, even if all that amounts to is what you just did isn't going to work the same way anymore, pumpkin. Or the way I've been operating isn't going to work the same way anymore. It's a
Mhm.
basic animal training functionality, but because dressage riders are not animal people, it never occurs to them. Good. Okay, I would loosen the reins and hang out for a moment because we've been on our case for quite a long time, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Still, however, be at the ready
Right.
because she might use a door slamming or a sudden gust of wind to go, oh, whoopee, twirly crazy. So that's when you give your arms forward instead of letting the reins out of your hands. So she feels the looseness, but you are in a state of readiness to get yourself put back together, huh?
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
So when I say give the reins, sometimes the riders don't do what I actually intended, even if it may be what I said. Okay, pick her up and turn her head either way quickly. Oi! Good for you. So, because you spoke to her loudly and quickly, she went, oh my God, I'm so startled. You can't do that to me. Uh, she started to do her twirly act, and you say, fine. You know what's going to happen? You're going to end up aha! Well done, eh?
Good girl. Yeah.
So just the suddenness, and oh, I never finished saying why I'm telling you not to ask her to bend, but to make it happen. And the reason is because if you start thinking, I'll ask you to bend, it gives her time to go, I know what's coming, and I'm not playing that game. I'm going to brace against it. So I say, so turn your head already. And before they know it, it's turned and they go, shit, I just got fooled and suckered. And that's what I
Right.
want. Good. Yeah, yeah. Good for you. You kept your priority of throat latch, yeah?
Mhm.
And there again, when she made sudden little weird pig like steps, um, you've never had a pig, I suppose. Oh,
I have not.
I had a pet pig for years, and I call them pig-like steps. They're little quick steps that go nowhere, which is a very pig-like thing to do. I'm sure you wanted to know that. Go ahead.
So, um, since in this direction, she cannot possibly fathom that she can walk forward and have her throat latch to the outside at the same time.
Very likely. That's why you go.
How? Go
Very,
ahead.
very, very, very likely. Very well thought what you said. And so that's when I say, okay, clearly this is of issue. That's why I'm going to do it at walk or even halt. I'm going to go to the easiest least stressful place to sort this out, make it clear, instead of riding around at an impulsive trot trying to force it the German way. I want her to get this super sorted in her little brain that there's this weird thing that we do. Okay, it's called experimentation. Will this work? Will that work? Will this work? Will that work? That was too wimpy on your part. When she looked to the outside, you should have said, "Hey, you, get back here," instead of going, "Ew, ew, don't do that." Good. It's a start. Now, as it happens, you can't see it from up there. Most of that sideways is happening with the left front leg in abduction. We want it in the right front leg in adduction, but anything left is better than everything she's ever done. Turn her head, turn her head. Okay. I would have turned it the other way, but it doesn't matter. At least you stop just pulling in paralysis. Well done. That was really good because that was one of her less hysterical attacks. And this one had a really good excuse, huh?
Yes.
So jolly good. Anyway, so you would like her there. That's the right front leg stepping over. Now I would loosen the reins, let her do what she wants with her neck, and walk away from that cone.
Yeah. Attempting to.
Well, I just mean there's no reason to ask for more excitement. And it's very horse-like. It's very normal horsey behavior if they get their feet tangled in something or they think they're about to get all fussed about it. So sometimes I just stroll out of a situation if I think I might make it worse by doing, let's say, unreasonable things.
Yeah.
Okay, turn the head. Do not use your leg until you have the head turned. Okay, now do. Good. So what? Yeah, good. There's the right front leg in adduction. One step. Up to now, it's been mostly left front leg in abduction, which is fine. Compared to her throwing the throat latch in, it's great. But the final version that we're going to like is the adduction of the inner legs. Yes. And so if I get to this point where you are right now, I'm perfectly fine with it. I would say, okay, I have what do they call it? Deconstructed? Is that a word?
Yeah, it is.
I have deconstructed the issue to the point that I realize I can't talk to the right front leg and I can't talk to the throat latch. Well, God damn it. I don't have to be going at any special gait or doing any special trick to talk to that. I need to just find the best place and best way to talk to that. Whatever that is.
Right.
All right, let her off. Big fuss.
Good girl.
It was excellent work.
Good.
Excellent work.